Hello, hello, hello. What's up, everyone? Hey. So it's me, Mario. You all know me, but do you know this guy? And do you know now I'm pointing at the screen here, but we also have our famous Apple lady, Happy Scared, to join us. Hey guys, how are you doing?
Good. Yeah.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, chat.
Hello, chat. Yes. Oh, got a lot of people here. Oh, Carney made it. Yay. Uh, he's been carving pumpkins all day, so I'm happy he's here. Hey, Michael, Comrade, Olo, Fire Dragon, Indo. Hey, Indo, Knut. We got Knut. Did you see you last week, buddy? Um, it's me, Bidin. Hey, Bidin. Also, dear Avalancher. Hey, guys.
And yes, I also want to do pumpkins.
Oh, but you couldn't.
Yeah, I
You
need to.
you poor thing. You get to grab one when you go home, but maybe you're home already, so you have to go out and grab one so you can carve a bit.
Yeah.
Well, let's happy scared pumpkin lady Amanda. Hey, who are you? Could you introduce yourself real quick? Uh,
Hello. Yeah, I have been here before, and I'm back because I like to be here and talk to all of you out there. And yeah, I'm a mission designer currently on Generation Zero. So what I have worked on this patch is that I made the mission that you can play Death from Above. And yeah, and before that, I made the other mission that is linked to the other Soviet machines when you uh, find out stuff about the lynx and the wolf. And that's two missions. Yeah, and before that, I was a world designer and made my Apple Killer locations and wrote a bunch of collectibles as well for the
ooh.
Tatiana Bolshakov, for example.
Oh, we
That's
all
my
really like those
favorite.
one. I think
Yeah, those are
I
my
read a few
favorite.
here on the stream a couple of times, so everyone can
Oh,
really enjoy them if they haven't heard them. But yes, they are amazing. We all really like them.
I need
Um,
to listen to your interpretations of the character voices then.
Oh
But
geez, I'm so bad. I'm so really bad with like accents and stuff. But for you, Amanda, I will do that. I will find my favorite letter for next week, and I will read it out loud, doing the character voices. So we all have something to really look forward to. Yes.
but this is not going to be the same because you guys on stream won't know, but when we're working on this stuff, Amanda reads the stuff herself to us, so we get like properly narrated things by the author, and it's fantastic.
It's absolutely amazing. And you get a little glimpse long before it's in the game, and you can really like, yeah, it's 10 out of 10. I can really tell you.
Yeah, like Friday, sitting down with the whole team, listening to storyteller Amanda telling her latest
Yeah.
story, all gathered around.
It's amazing with the little candy and some hot cocoa,
Yeah.
and yeah, everyone's just happy. But hey, we also got this fabulous person here. A lot of people have probably seen this guy before. It's our own, very own OG. And if anyone have, seen the old Generation Zero YouTube channel, one of the first videos actually ever uploaded was with Dan. And he's been with the project for a long time. He knows all the ins and outs and ups and downs. So everyone say hello to Dan. Do you wanna maybe introduce yourself real quick
I
for
mean, you did a
everyone?
pretty good job, but
Yeah, but
I could give like some history, I guess. Yeah, I've been here before once, I think, but I was the lead designer on the base game. So a lot of the anything that's wrong with the game, you can like blame it on me. I think that's fair. So yeah, you might have seen me on that. I think I was in a bunch of other things around the release of the game, E3 videos, maybe stuff like that. But yeah, I'm currently, well, I have been on the project just being a designer, and that is a very general answer because I do very general stuff. Like I've helped Amanda out before on missions, but I've also
Yeah, and we did
helped.
the intro revamp together with
Exactly.
Pontus and Therese. We worked on together.
Yeah, exactly that. But I've also, done some of the Firebird, for example. Has been I was working on that. Also done some work on some of the weapons, all over the place, and everything kind of
He
designer.
knows everything.
Yeah, Dan of all trades.
You-
Is that what you call it?
You would expect me to, since I started it back in the day. Like, it would be a bit embarrassing if I didn't know anything at this point.
It's so good to have someone to ask who knows everything as well.
It's very easy also to just have one point of contact for that.
Yeah. It's a luxury.
Yeah, until I'm away, and then everyone's like,
Yeah.
"Ah, how do we do stuff?"
Can't live without you, Dan.
Mm.
Well, I'm for one, or is very, very happy to have both of you here. We're gonna have a super awesome, great stream today. And of course, we're gonna talk about the Dark Skies, which finally released yesterday, and it seems like it's been a real success. And it seems like a lot of people are having a lot of fun with everything that's new to the game. So what I'm gonna do, I'm first of all gonna try to take out these machines. Then I'm gonna move up north a bit and see if there's maybe some new scary flying thing that I can try to take down. We'll see how that goes. They're very hard.
Yes.
And then you see, lucky me, I have one adrenaline shot that I'm gonna use.
Now.
Yes, now. Perfect. We only got 52 more minutes, so I guess I can't die anymore.
Are you? Yeah.
So, we got this new update that we just released. And you guys both gave us a little glimpse of what you had worked with. Can you give us a little maybe a more rundown on exactly what you did? How was the work with the Firebird, for example? Did you both work with that?
I worked with the actual enemy, and Amanda worked with the mission.
I get it. So when you say you worked with the enemy, what exactly did you do then?
So, what did I do? I don't remember. It's been a blur. So a lot of the work that I do is like setup, some design as well, but actually the Firebird, like base design of the enemy, was done by another designer. I don't know if he's been on. He probably hasn't been on stream, but I took it over.
Francesco.
Yeah, Francesco.
No, not yet.
Okay. So he did the original design. I took it over and made it work in game. And I worked alongside the AI coders who set up all of the behaviors, and gameplay coders who set up stuff like So obviously we only have one other flying enemy in the game. And if you've seen the Firebird, you'll know that this one flies a lot more. A lot higher and a lot more like everywhere than the wait, what are they called?
Seeker?
Seekers, right. This is one that's sorry. So they're called Scouts when I made them back in the day. And I always get them mixed up, Scouts or Seekers. So I'm sorry if I mix them up. But yeah, so I worked alongside the AI and gameplay programmers who implemented all the technical, like difficult stuff, making them fly in the right places, making them, do the right thing when they're shooting at you and exploring the world and looking for you, all of that stuff. And I did the stuff where it's like, hey, I've got to set it up, put loot in it, make sure it explodes right, give it the right amount of health, give it the right amount of damage, and give them feedback, the coders feedback on like, hey, it's I don't know, it's too hard, or he's not doing the right thing in his behavior, his AI is wrong, or stuff like that.
That's
So those bean shots that always hit you very perfectly, those are Dan's fault.
I mean, you could just get better. So it is.
That's
it is
true.
It is
But they can be very, very hard though. So I agree with both of you.
I mean, that was kind of our design intent, right? It was that these are first of all, they're supposed to kind of be the dreadnoughts of the sky. So they're supposed to be like the apex kind of hunter killer things. But also, we really love like the concept of them, and that dark silhouette in the sky, and the searchlight, and all of that kind of atmosphere that it brings. And that would be really undermined if they were pushovers. They should be deadly. They should be scary. They should be a challenge.
It would have been pretty boring if you see this, really mean thing, or this big red light just searching for you, and then you take up your little pea shooter and you just take it out with 2 shots. That would have been so underwhelming. But yeah, it seems like you had a really, really big deal to do with that.
Yeah, big job for sure. Mainly, because it's our first actual, real, properly flying machine, so we had to write all that stuff from scratch.
And also,
all the bombs is also like bombs
Yep.
is a new thing as well, and how they work.
Yep. Those are really fun, and there's some really cool stuff you can do with the bombs. If they don't kill you outright.
yeah, I was like, at first when I saw them, and I was like, bombs, that doesn't look so scary. But when I first then encountered them in combat, yeah, they're mean. They're really mean. And as we say in Sweden, talking about the trolls, here is one. See if I can take it down. It's really hard to kind of shoot these engines down, I think, because it moves so much.
Yep.
Oh jeez, and,
Yeah.
and when it starts to
That's
shoot,
not good
it starts to shoot, and that is crazy.
Yeah. I think like tips are like, when you see that light start pointing at you, just run.
Yeah,
That's it.
yeah.
And then when it stops, then you can shoot. But don't try to go toe to toe with it, because it's got a bigger gun than you.
It does. It shoots a lot harder. And you can see it's kind of hard to there we go.
Nice.
So this, I think, was probably one of maybe the lower classes. I
Hard
would
to tell.
guess. Yeah, it's hard to tell.
Oh, you took them very quickly.
It's because I got such a great gun.
Where's your flashlight?
Ah, there we go.
Oh, there we go.
Uh-oh.
What?
Yeah, it's a stupid little doggo here that wanted to join in on the fun.
Yeah.
Let's see. I gotta say, the loot is great from this. Like, if you haven't already had a chance to take one down, do it, because yeah, you can see they drop pretty decent stuff. This is another little dog here. Yeah. Can you just be alone for 1 second? I can loot this. That should be all, I think.
Yeah, with this one we because before, when we introduced new machines, we also had missions tied to them, but with this one we tried another way of triggering the mission, like with the tracking device. that
Yeah,
you
we
can
will see
find
that.
in
I actually
yeah.
have one here that I'm gonna pick up. Let's see what's happened when I do that. Ooh, Death from Above. Makes a lot of sense. Also, there's a new character introduced with this called Mona. Mona Jonsson. Yeah, that sounds like a typical 80s/90s name. I absolutely agree. Mona. Can make a lot of jokes about Mona being like this kommunaltant that would, sit with at a municipal house somewhere and, I don't know, push papers.
Yeah, I think that we had in her backstory brief that she worked at a big factory, like the IGA that we have, and that she worked there first on the floor, and then she advanced to get into more of a leadership position. So sounds kind of like what you were saying.
So, all right. So, you actually worked with this Death from Above mission, right, Amanda?
Yes, and it was so nice that we got the opportunity to have a bit of voiceover and a character. I know, like I know that a lot of people want more and like lots of missions with lots of voiceover, but
Oh, no.
I'm very happy that we got to have this one, and like just to have a bit of voiceover to it. I think makes the mission feel more alive.
Yeah, it's great. I think it's something we really enjoyed and found was really great when we did the intro missions. revamp.
Yeah.
Adding characters and voiceover there was great.
It is very fun, and it gives the missions kind of a whole different kind of depth and width to it, and it must be also really fun to do missions and other game stuff that includes voice lines and actors, and makes maybe the workday a little bit more fun
Yeah.
to work with.
And also to make the world feel alive, like, because we reference the resistance a lot, and it's like now with base building and stuff, there actually is a growing resistance there. So we try to take every opportunity we can to also show pieces of this resistance and make it feel more personal.
So talking about both missions and a new machine, I'm gonna start with you, Dan. What was like the biggest kind of challenge? It's like you had so much to do with this machine. Of course, you have to had some hurdles to jump over. What would you say was kind of the most difficult thing that you had to kind of clear with that, bringing such a big feature to the game?
Yeah, I think like the difficulty was less on me than on the guys who actually built the machine. So I think the biggest thing was probably the getting it to fly. You may not kind of notice, but it will fly at different heights depending where it is in the world. So over trees, it will need to fly higher, so it needs to detect there's trees below it. Whereas over open kind of fields, it'll come down so it's closer to you. So all of that, like detecting like what it's flying over, changing its height, actually flying was a big thing for that team to do. Definitely the biggest thing for me personally. The most difficult, the most challenging thing in it, probably the setup of the bombs and tuning those, and getting them working. Since like we haven't done obviously any bomb dropping, aerial flying things before, getting that working and getting that kind of right was probably the trickiest thing for me in this.
Yeah, I like both of those things, especially like the tree thing and kind of the at the height the machine needs to travel and how it needs to kind of understand, like, all right, now I'm moving into a bit of a forest region, I need to gain some height. It just feels like it's a tricky thing to introduce. But also, like completely new behaviors for machines makes a lot of sense. That takes a little bit more time.
Yeah.
We need to figure things out in maybe a little different way than we've done before.
Yeah, and I can talk about that if you want, if you're interested.
Oh, I would love to hear it, and I'm sure chat would too.
Well, so the way that our normal machines work is they work on a 2D plane. So kind of basically, because they all run around on the floor, they look for points on the floor, like where they can move, that is really good for shooting at the player. And that's how they decide where to go, they can go to so that they can shoot you. But of course, in the air, that doesn't exist, right?
Yeah.
They're not on the ground. They're in the air. They can't check the ground for that kind of thing. So we had to implement a whole new system for them to be able to know where to fly to in the air. On top of that's just basic navigation and like, hey, where do I go to shoot the player? But on top of that, of course, we have more complex behaviors, which if you watch them a lot, you might notice, where they will actually, some of them will orbit you to a degree. So they will kind of try to keep a circular distance from you and move around that circular distance, whereas others will go to points and shoot you. And then, of course, they have to bomb you, so they have to set up bombing run tracks and line that up with where the player is, where they can actually do it. And all of this stuff is completely brand new, where for the normal machines, it would be like, it's just a slight modification of what we already have. So yes, the AI was also quite a big thing.
It is pretty awesome stuff we're doing, I got to admit. And just, how you need to kind of start thinking in a new way to do that. Yeah, it's very exciting.
But it's nice, is like that new dimension also actually is a new dimension like when you play the game to that you also have to in your mind start to think about the airspace in a different way. So I think it like changes how you move over the land and what you watch out for a lot.
Oh yeah, and like for me now, this wolf is shooting some rockets at me, which is very kind of easy. I can just hide behind a little a wall or something like a rock or whatever. But against the Firebird, hey, it's from above. It would just, you know,
Yep.
it won't hinder that in any ways. You need to start thinking and be like your strategy needs to change in a completely new way when you fight it, which brings a lot of, you know, kind of more. People need to adjust their play styles, and people need to start thinking in a completely different way when they fight this. This is also something I think is very, very cool now that we see the Firebird interacting here with the tank on the ground, and these kind of new battle scenarios are just amazing. I'm very happy they're not shooting at me, but this leaves for a really good view to see how they are interacting with each other now.
Can the Phoenix machines reach the Firebird with their guns?
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
good.
So the dreadnoughts that have rockets are very bad at aiming at the Firebird. I don't know. I might have seen them hit it once, but like the machine gun, will just pretty much the dreadnought will give as good as it gets. Or tank, sorry.
That's why you can say that this guy is the real OG, because he's playing around with like the pre-release names.
Old names.
Yeah, got the dreadnought.
You guys didn't even say anything. Like, what the hell
Let's
are
just
you
take
talking
it for
about?
just take it for granted, you know, because those names are you know played around with quite a lot still
Yeah,
in
they
the
are still in
development team.
our documents and game.
Documents and game, the
Yeah,
entire game.
So what do we call it? The tank is the dreadnought. We got the harvester. What's
It's the Harvester.
it's the OG name was the harvester. What did we call the other ones, or was it just the tank that had this special name?
Runners are called what are skirmishers in dev terms. Ticks are called pests in dev terms.
They are pests. Yeah, I think that's a very fitting name.
Hunters are hunters. What else? Oh yeah, and seekers
We
are
shouldn't
scouts.
have renamed the tank though. It's very confusing that it's called the tank. I know we have had some miscommunications already with like new people to the team. When we say tank, they think we mean the military tanks, which we have models for.
Yeah.
It's not a very specific name.
You should refer to the military tanks by their Swedish name only.
Pansarvagn.
Yeah.
That's very interesting. Pansarvagn. I was thinking stridsvagn. So now I really alright. So what's the difference between a stridsvagn and a pansarvagn then? If anyone in chat knows, tell us, because I won't be able to sleep otherwise. So alright, so Dan, there was some pretty decent challenges at least to like introduce something like this. Amanda's been working with a lot of missions before and doing that kind of awesome stuff. But still, making a completely new mission like that, Amanda, what kind of challenges did you face in your little development journey?
I think for this mission, like technical-wise, it was to get the Soviet beacons to work, because I hadn't done that kind of setup before, which was a bit more nitty-gritty technical stuff. Even though they work kind of similar, I mean that they're not advanced or anything, but still like opening the hatch and then spawning a loot container for each loot afterwards and such. But other than those, I think this mission felt very smoothly, like with the narrative of it. It was very fun to get to work some more with Tatiana to incorporate her, since she's only, she was a bit in the previous missions, the Lynx and Wolf mission. But yeah, it was a pretty smooth mission.
You did some really nice location environment work as well on this. How was that?
Yeah, that was nice. But there was also Thomas,
Yeah.
who is
Joint
have,
effort.
yeah, exactly. Who made Thomas made the base for
Ah,
the awesome Phoenix camp that we have, where
And-
you can.
everyone, Thomas has been on stream before, but you might also know him as Knivspark. If that maybe ring a bell for some people who are asking, who is Thomas? I hang out on the forum a lot. But yes, that is Knivspark, who does those kind of cool things. Now you're talking about Tatiana and characters like that. Amanda, which one is your favorite character? If you could choose by all kind of NPCs we got and the story characters, if you could choose one who to be your favorite, who would it be?
I remember I maybe was asked this at the stream before, and then I said Bolshakov, which might still be my answer, because the evil person in Tatiana's storyline and the collectibles.
That's a good answer.
He was so fun to write. Like someone who just wants, like, is convinced that they are right about what they're doing, but still have lots of regrets about it. But yeah, then also as like I like when people lose their shit a bit and feel a bit crazy or stressed, etc. As those of you who have played this new mission might have noticed, since I took Tatiana in that direction with all her notes that you can find on the roof. Which, like, because when I think about living in this, like in the middle of this apocalypse that's happening, I think that people would behave weirdly and start writing strange notes and placing apples on corpses, obviously.
All right, so Bolshakov, but if you had to choose someone you didn't write, then
Yeah, then I like Kalle.
I think probably Kalle is my favorite too. He's so cool
Yeah,
with his tinfoil hat and his kind of weird conspiracy theories and
exactly. But he's invested. Yeah. But also I like what's his name, who also was in a set of collectibles. On the following Phoenix, was it Janek? Maybe.
I think Yannick is writing letters to Basse, right? I think.
Yeah, it's like a set of collectibles that's investigating Phoenix stuff in the south coast, I think. And he's following them and wondering what's happening. I think he's kind of he's maybe friends with Kalle and also think this is some kind of alien or something. And he's all alone and hurts his knee or something. And
Poor
yeah.
guy hurt his knee.
Yeah, I know.
How about you then, Dan? Do you have a special character in the game that you really like?
I mean, it has to be Therese now, like, for those intro missions. I know, I love that she's your introduction to the world and the game.
Oh, yes. That really
In
hurt.
trouble?
Oh no!
Ah!
And I was so close. All right, well, we got the safe house pretty close, so lucky me.
Next time, drop a field radio if you have one.
I dropped them because I was over encumbered. Oh jeez.
But yeah, I don't know. Is it bad to say I like Therese because she's the new and shiny one?
I think I like Pontus because he's a pretty cool guy, I guess.
Yeah.
No, so it's absolutely okay to say that. Also fun talking about new missions and stuff. That is actually very, very easy to replay the missions now with the Dark Skies update. That's something that I would have thought would be a little bit overlooked by everyone when it got these kind of new big shiny things. But it's very, very fun to see that, alright, the new game revamp is actually very, very welcome. That people were very, very happy to see that. Alright, talking about characters and stuff like that. Do you guys play the game a lot?
Every day.
Every day?
Every day. No, but we have playtests 2 times a week.
But if you mean like like properly play it rather than play it for development reasons. I haven't done since we did the intro mission updates. So what happened with me was after release, I left the game team to help out on a different team at Avalanche, and now I've come back. So in between those two times, I didn't play the game at all. So when I came back, then I got to jump in and play it again from scratch with all the changes, which was really good. And yeah, with the intro mission changes, we addressed a lot of the stuff that, you know, we wanted to make better since the beginning. So yeah, but I haven't been personally playing it since the intro mission changes, I think, that we did.
So that's actually a bit interesting that you said, like, all right, so you had a little gap in playtime there while you were on other projects. And being, you know, such a old school GC team member, what has been like your favorite addition, you know, maybe during that gap, like when you came back and you saw like this new feature and you were like, hey, what the hell, this is so good. This really changed the game for the better. Oh, jeez. What would that be?
Yeah, so first of all, like there are so many like quality of life changes that just make the game so much more of a pleasure to play than when I left, which was like all of that stuff just adds up. And because I remember it like at release, and then it's like, wow, wait, this used to be harder, like this used to be more annoying, and now it's not, which is fantastic. I think that's a lot harder for people who've been playing it continuously to recognize, but for me that was like really really great. As for like really big features, I think like the Soviet enemies, that was fantastic. Like going into a field and seeing the fights between the the lynxes and the wolves and whatever phoenix things were around was just like, oh, this is epic. This is amazing. So I think that's what really kind of the biggest impact. I think I felt like, hey, this really brings to life the world, and it's really great to see this. So yeah.
And I think it makes a lot of sense also what you say, like if you play it every day, you won't really notice that. It's like, you know, looking at me, you just get fatter every day. And I don't notice, but, you know, when I meet my grandma, who I haven't seen in 2 months, she's like, oh boy, what happened to you? But it's very fun to hear kind of your story about that and kind of what you think. Of course, I want to... Yeah, sorry, Amanda, go ahead.
Someone in chat asked like how the Firebirds came over, if they flew, which I think is like maybe mentioned a bit. Like there's a part of the computer that you find in this camp where you're now that talks about Firebird reinforcements coming, and how it's hinted at there would be that they did fly over themselves, but they need these navigation beacons to know where to go. So that's why you take out the Soviet beacons in the mission, because that's will stop that will make so that the new Firebirds won't know that they should go there, because they are programmed to go to specific places.
All right. I was going to ask you, Amanda, from when you started, like we talked a little bit before the stream started, that you've also been with the team for a bit, not as long as old Dan here has been. But if you could answer that, like from when you started maybe, and you know the journey that GC has taken, like what do you think is the best addition that happened to GC during your time here that made you go like, this is a really nice thing. This made a huge impact on kind of how the game operates and what's, you know, how it plays and whatnot.
Well, I do think that how Base Assault turned out is very, very cool. With the also the feeling of Phoenix building all these bases all over the world kind of makes to me makes Phoenix feel extra alive and like it's doing something. And also how varied taking down those bases is gameplay wise, I think is very fun.
That's a great answer.
But Amanda, you could have chosen like any mission that you worked on, and you didn't. Come on.
Well, she's so
No, but-
modest.
Yeah, I was very happy with the like that we got to do the intro revamp thing. But you didn't say that either, Dan.
Well, that's because like the question was specifically after I got back,
Ah, yeah, true.
not since I've been back. I escaped.
Well, all right.
The absolute best addition to the game is the Matryoshka dolls collectible set.
All right.
Absolutely outstanding number one.
I think many would actually agree with you, probably.
It felt like when me and Laura planned for those, it felt like we were making a movie. Like we were very much like, but this should be a movie and we filmed like this and this.
Maybe you two should actually make a movie about that then. You know, I sure would be you know, with all the kind of hit and popularity that the kind of 80s 90s vibe have gotten lately with you know shows like Stranger Things and stuff, it could probably be a real showstopper.
Or have you played Control?
Yeah.
They have like a little show in that looks like it was just made by the devs with like
Oh yeah,
puppety
that's
things.
true.
Oh, that would be hilarious.
And it's
Oh,
an
I
in-universe
can raise
one.
my own,
Yeah.
and I just
The
Oh,
Resistance
it's
have
like
their
that.
little studio that they shoot some Resistance news and you know
Yeah.
sitcoms
Propaganda.
from. Oh, hilarious! That would actually
Oh,
be absolutely
we can take
amazing.
over. We can take over one of the meeting rooms in the office and just like spray paint it with some blue Resistance logos and stuff.
Yeah, we're gonna bring that up with management when we're done. See what we can do. That would be very fun.
We've decided to turn the game into a television production.
Yes, and you got nothing to say about it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Eh,
So this is what we're gonna do now. That's insane. But all right, if you can change anything, Dan, what like again? All right, you had a pretty decent answer about all the new features and kind of how that worked when you got back and what like really big game changing stuff that you liked. But if you could change something, what would that be?
But that's
It's a
really
hard one.
difficult. Come on.
It's a hard one, but it could be anything. You just say like, "Oh, geez, this I don't like the resistance blue in the lights when in base building. I want them to be resistance orange."
But I set up the resistance lights where you can choose the color. So I already
Dan, like when Dan wants to change something, he changes it.
That's true though. He got that kind of power.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like during meetings when we're meeting people, oh, maybe we should change this. And then Dan is like, yeah, I have done it now. And we haven't even ended the meeting. It just happens.
Yeah, that's true. Those are small things. Let's see. Let's think.
Could be
There's
anything
always...
you want.
All right, but so the thing is, as a creative, I am never happy with my work, right? So I want to change everything about everything I do at all times and perfect it. So I don't expect you would accept everything. I want to change everything. But I don't think that's would be popular with the community, with you chat at all either, because you love what we've already got. You don't want it to be like completely changed to something different. So let's think.
No,
Something.
but you don't want to change it completely though. You just want to make it perfect.
Yeah,
All
yeah,
the little
exactly.
small things.
I don't know. I think like part of the thing that I've recognized coming back to the project is obviously it's live, so it's less about like if I could change something, what would it be? It would be like more, hey, what is the next thing I want to improve in the game?
All right, but if you could improve anything you wanted.
Oh, I've made a difficult question for myself again.
Yes, it's your own fault, buddy.
There's there's a lot of stuff like in terms of usability or quality of life things that I would love to change and make better, just so that it's those little pain points that when you're playing every day are like, oh, this is annoying. So some minor UI stuff, some minor ways that enemies behave, stuff, things like that. I'm really bad at answering this question. Maybe the Amanda can give you a better answer.
You want to make the machines smarter
Uh,
so that they can.
no,
Know
I don't want to make machines smarter, but I want them to be more fun, and that doesn't mean smarter. It
Yeah,
means illusion of smartness.
Yeah.
Getting deep into
Interesting.
design theory here, but
Yeah.
you absolutely don't want enemies who are super smart, because then you'll think they're cheating.
Yeah.
You want enemies that look smart and are fun to defeat.
That is true. The illusion of smartness, I like that. I'm gonna steal that.
I've got one. I know what I would change. Absolutely. It is the so we have a skill to use to see information about enemies in binocular view. That's really annoying to use, and it's a really useful thing. I want that to be like accessible at all times from anywhere, not having to go into binoculars to see like what's on this enemy. Its armor percentages and all of that stuff. Yeah, there you go. I did it. I made an answer.
That and it was a good answer too, because I think that would actually make a lot of sense to kind of access that in maybe a little bit more handy way. So I really like that. I think we asked Amanda what she wanted to change last time, but Amanda, what would you change?
Yeah, then it was.
Or
regarding
improve.
something else, I think. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, I would like to have lots of voiceover and NPCs everywhere in base game and such, like all the missions. But there's also like that a lot of you players who are at the end game might not be super interested in that, because that's playing through the game. But when we started doing the intro missions, it was so much fun to look at the story and the narrative that is in the game, and just like bring it out there more, and make it more accessible. So yeah, I would like to improve the missions, I guess.
I think that's good.
Me
I would like
too.
that too.
Yeah.
It made so much of a difference to me playing like through the intro missions that we remade with having that stuff. It was
Yeah.
great.
And I mean, like the end missions we have, I think are very cool. Like the end missions of base game, like then, meaty stuff starts to happening. But the road to get there is a bit drawn out, with not super much new things happening. And there's so much more we could do with that.
All right. I think we got a funny question in chat actually, Dan. It was something like, what is better with Sweden than the UK?
know
I'm
what
going to
you will
offend
say.
everyone. Go on,
You
Amanda.
will say that people here like coffee, not tea.
Yeah, the
Because
coffee.
You were an outcast in England because you like coffee.
Now you've told the whole world, and I'm going to be like, all my English acquaintances are going to be disgusted now.
Yeah, but that's because you told me that I was wrong, because I'm a Swede who likes tea. So
Yeah,
there you
absolutely.
go.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with tea. It's you can't go about your day without having at least 2 or 3 cups of tea.
You absolutely can. Coffee.
You have coffee.
Coffee's just not nice,
What?
It just tastes blah.
What kind of Swedes am I surrounded? I thought Swedes were all about coffee. Come on. Okay. Well, yeah, I like that coffee here is and I like that, especially at Avalanche, we have some fantastic coffee machines. And love it. Love that. But in general, what do I think is better in Sweden than the UK?
We also
It's a
have like
tricky
heating.
one.
Our apartments don't leak heat.
That's true. My apartment is really nice. It's got like triple glazing. It's always roasty, toasty hot in the winter. My house in England used to be drafty and cold, even though it was a new build. Just terrible, terrible stuff. Anyway, that isn't what I would say, I think, but it is a good point for sure.
I'm sorry, I'm answering all the
Yeah,
questions for you.
Amanda, think up some more answers for me.
No, apparently they didn't do. You have to do for yourself now.
Muddy bean juice. Yeah, I agree with that. That's about what I think coffee tastes like. Tea over coffee. Yeah, I think that's like a yeah. Oof. We opened a Pandora's box here.
Looks like I've walked into the wrong stream here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. The things I like about Sweden. I like the weather. And I like the northernness. So I'm weird like that. Like I live in the dark generally, so I like winter because it's very dark. But then I have a dog. So walking the dog in the summer when it's still twilight at midnight is like great. I love the snow. I love cold winters, very cold winters. Love that. I love that. Yeah, the weather is in England. It's just more wet and damp, and it's less so here. So, do you know what? That's a very English answer. Like, it's the weather. Everything's about the weather.
Well, you know, he was from
Well,
UK, so I
that's-
think he
well,
understands
that's
you.
Yeah, that crispness of the very cold days, like the air is something special then.
It is. Yeah.
I absolutely agree. Ooh, and we're moving into that time now. Today was especially grey though, and the leaves are almost all gone. But we had a fantastic, nice fall here, so I'm very, very happy about that.
Yeah, it's been really, really nice.
So now we just hope we get a little bit of snow soon, so it's not that dark. Right, so this makes me feel like I'm in the Terminator movie, burning on a motocross, being chased by a big evil machine. Only thing that's missing is some Guns N' Roses in the background. It would be. But yeah, to everyone who kind of asked about. All right, I got. I'm on fire. Oh no, I'm gonna die, or am I?
Why did you make that little pirouette?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know because I was gonna talk about the great handling of the motorbikes, but then I kind of got stuck. So
Then you drove into a tree.
Yes.
Oh,
So it's more about me than the motorbike, perhaps.
but yeah,
So
maybe Robert can join here sometime. He was the game designer in charge of the bikes.
Yes, that would be amazing. Alright, so we talked about coffee and tea and the differences between UK and Sweden. And you know, this is something we usually ask. I think with you, Amanda, we talked about fika. I'm sure, but Dan, being from the UK, do you have any favorite Swedish fika?
I mean, I like the. Okay, so cinnamon buns. They are fantastic. They are the greatest, obviously. I do like the vacuum cleaners. Dammsugare.
Yeah, dammsugare, which
Yeah.
is probably you're the first person ever to say that, most probably.
Yeah.
That's okay. Do I have to leave now?
No, it's okay. But it's just, you know, they always say that it's like the leftovers from the bakery that they put into like one thing, and that's the
Yeah.
dammsugare. But you actually see those in
That's why
game.
they're called dammsugare.
You actually see them in the game, which is very funny.
But I think like you guys have you have tons of really good snacks for fika. It's like barely any. You can't go wrong with barely any of them. I think.
That's true. Everything sweet's good. I would say.
Our producer made a brownie cookie.
Yeah,
What
that
was it
was
called? Brookie.
Brookie.
But-
Is
yeah.
that what it's called?
Yeah, but that sounds very American. Not
It
Swedish.
does. It does. She also talked about some weird hot dog with Nutella or whatever. So that's the worst thing I've ever heard.
But that's just Talia. Like, yeah. I don't think that's a thing. Is that a thing? I hope it's not. I hope it's not a thing.
The hot dog Nutella thing?
Yeah.
I actually think it's a thing.
No, I thought it was just Talia. Oh,
No. I think it's a Canadian thing.
Ah.
They're a bit weird.
My partner gave me like a rice cookie. What is it there? Yeah, rice thingy with Nutella and peanut butter and melted cheese on.
Melted.
Melted
Oh, come on. Why would
cheese.
you even do that? It's like it's so
It
not
was-
fair.
Yeah, the cheese was a bit weird, but when he said it's like you imagine you have fancy cheese that you dip in chocolate, and it's okay. Maybe you just have to reprogram your mind.
Maybe.
I'm not sure I want to reprogram my mind with that.
I remember as a student, I once, I don't know why, but I think me and like a bunch of my housemates, we had cheese on toast with jam on top.
That's good though. If well, maybe not jam, but marmalade at least is, you know.
Laid on cheese on toast. You've crossed the line. That's just wrong.
No, it's insanely. That's what you do. You know, cheese and marmalade. It's a classic.
Yeah, that is a classic.
Okay, but not cheese on toast.
Well,
It's-
of course, it's super nice. So it kind of melts a little bit, and you know.
I'm not convinced.
Ah,
I'm only
gee.
barely convinced.
It's
that-
like you know, you have square Wonder Bread. You put it in the toaster, and then a slice of cheese on top. Damn, it's good. And if you feel fabulous, you put the marmalade on too.
I think someone in chat said it best. Well, WTF?
Hot cheesy oranges.
Yeah. What is that?
That sounds like something you would read on
Cheesy
what's it
orange.
called? Anyway, jeez. Alright, so we neglected chat quite a lot, or at least I did. Maybe Amanda has been really good with that. But hey, chat, do we got a little bit of time left? Hit us with all your questions, and we'll do our best to give you a funny, serious answer.
There was someone who asked if I had something to do with the scary lighthouse lady. I'm not sure who that is.
Scary lighthouse lady?
Yeah. Do we have a scary lighthouse?
It does sound a little bit like you.
Yeah, I mean, I want to have added a scary lighthouse lady.
Take
But I'm
credit.
also, yeah, I'm also very intrigued by like there's secretly a scary lighthouse lady somewhere, and I feel inspired to have a scary lighthouse lady.
Is that the lighthouse with the person living in it and all of their stuff? And they have like they've set up their friends in the lighthouse made of junk.
Oh.
That's a bit weird though. It could be what they're talking about.
Oh yeah, the lady that drew faces on objects as her family.
Yeah.
That's some Castaway vibes.
That was in the base game though,
Okay.
because I remember doing some propping on that. So I guess not Amanda. But Amanda, there's no one here to stop you. Take credit. Take.
Yeah. Also,
I mean, I
when,
like
when we
making
see a
drawing
crazy
faces and stuff.
crazy cat lady.
I did put a dog in a cave once. I mean, a dog picture.
That's metaphorical. I like it.
Yeah.
Jeez, I wanted to have a weapon skin drop, but alright, I think at least we got one more.
There's a question. I suppose the Firebirds were balanced as an end game enemy. What sort of enemy might you have come up with for an early/mid game enemy if you could do anything? Anything, Dan.
It's me. It's me, is it? Okay. An early mid-game enemy. Okay. Well. Okay. So in the original design, the early game enemy is obviously the runner, which were designed to be cannon fodder and your introduction. The mid-game enemy was supposed to be the hunter, which is supposed to be your kind of more challenging enemy, and the late game is more a tank. So something that hits kind of hunter level of thing. Yeah, that's. You want me to do some design right here on
Yeah,
the stream?
yeah, we freestyle it.
And we also have our art lead in the chat, so we can have some help from Rich.
Oh, we got Rich also. Hey, buddy, glad you could join. If anyone saw the awesomely cool main menu image, that's Rich.
Yeah, it is super cool. Okay, so let's see. Mid-game enemy. What I would do,
Ow, ow.
I would look at our enemy selection, and I would try to find interesting holes and gaps. So, so I feel like right now we maybe well, one thing that we kind of don't have is like a mid-game enemy, which is just like a horde. I guess we do in that we have higher level runners that are supposed to be that.
And
So
Lynxes
maybe that's
also are a
something
bit
good.
horde. Lynxes come in packs. So.
I was thinking more like, hey, how about like a smaller enemy, like somewhere in between a tick and the runner, which is just going to overwhelm you. Is that too mean? We do have a lot of enemies already.
I would like to have a sneaky enemy. I think that's like
Yeah.
sneaky and scary. And I would love it if it could like also be in bunkers and in villas and indoors.
Yeah.
Maybe it like hides in the ceiling, looking scary, or behind stuff, and it kind of runs away, hiding.
So that is exactly what the hunter was originally designed to do, and it was supposed to hide in bushes and ambush you, which we never got like properly working. It was also supposed to do stuff like sit on tops of buildings and watch and then jump down on you, because you know it's got that enormous
Ooh.
jump with the sword and
Oh
like
yeah,
stab
that's
you.
true.
Yeah, it was supposed to do that kind of thing.
Oh, that's nice.
But I think like that idea of an enemy that runs around and hides. My favorite example of that is in Dead Space 2. If you've played that,
Not me.
no. Okay, so there's an enemy who does exactly what you say. Like they hide behind corners and they peek out every now and again, and then run between cover when you're not looking. So if you look away, they'll move, and you can catch a glimpse of them. And that would be fantastic for something in the bunkers where it's all dark and like
Exactly.
looking down a corridor and then look away and see something move across the corridor. Yeah, that would
That's
be cool.
scary, and I think a lot of people like we got that suggestion a couple of times, like a stalker thing. That would
And it would have a
kind
very
of.
scary sound that you
It
could
would
hear.
be more like psychologically scary than maybe like that it would look scary.
Yeah.
Hey Carney, could you, if you're on YouTube, ban that guy, please? I would be very happy if you could do that. Thank you. But yeah, that would be very cool, and you would never know when it's dark, especially like Amanda said, you're down in a bunker and you hear that little kind of scary little sound, but you don't see anything. Then all of a sudden, bah! Comes right at you.
It's baby screams.
But also, what you said kind of is a very interesting thought, that you maybe had a lot, like a little party of small machines that would band together in a way. I think would be really really cool, and would it maybe be too hard to maybe take down, but it would be more of a hassle maybe because there's so many kind of objects
Yeah,
coming at you, and in a way.
Would be like
exactly.
a bit of a zombie horde feeling that you want to have like your flamethrower to be like. Wah!
Yeah. Something that exactly something that you can, because a lot of our enemies right now are they're more precision based, right? As designed, it's like one enemy, you got to hit the right things to take it down quickly. We don't have a lot of like enemies where, hey, you got to spray and pray, you've got to just, otherwise you're going to get overwhelmed, which I think is something that might be interesting. But
I think it would be really cool, and it would be also it would be something new, and a bit spectacular. Imagine you see kind of swarm moving about, and then they kind of separate in a bit. So like, oh, I need to shoot a little bit here, but also a little bit here, and it gets confusing, but it's still kind of medium in a way.
Maybe they can come from the ground, so you start to see the ground start to crackle,
Ooh,
and then like,
scary.
oh, they will soon be everywhere. I have to run away.
yeah,
That's a pretty decent freestyle, actually, I gotta say.
yeah. Apart from I'm sure like people are going to be like, yeah, so we expect that for next update.
All right, it's not confirmed. It's not gonna happen. It takes a long time to make machines, and this is just for shits and giggles.
Yeah, game dev is hard, you guys.
So I kind of need to go now because I promised my mom I would come over for dinner.
Oh, that's very nice of you. And we're actually
Yeah.
gonna start to just wrap it up right now. Um, First of all, Amanda, thank you so much for joining today. It was a blast. You're always welcome here. Dan, thank you for joining. It was very interesting to hear what you had to say. Your little freestyle here on kind of making a mid-level machine, all the really in-depth answers. A big thank you to both of you. Chat, it was a blast having you. So many of you come join today. Hope you had a nice time. And I got a little thing. Don't forget to hug your mom. Now it's fall. It's starting to get dark. She wants a big hug. Do as Amanda. Go over, have dinner with her. Be nice. Stay out of trouble, and I guess we'll see you all next week and see what kind of fun shenanigans we can come up with then. Until then, everyone, have a awesome afternoon, and we will catch you later.
Thank you. It was great to meet
Bye,
you,
chat.
chat.